Hello, bore da. Welcome to my wild Welsh garden. Well, I'm not going to say anything about the R word because it's a fabulous morning with lovely blue sky. And everywhere is looking green and lush and full of promise for the season ahead. Now, who do you think does this to the primroses? Who do you think pulls the flowers off like that? Well, I'll tell you, it's those pesky sparrows. Yes, I've watched them from the kitchen. They pull them off and then they peck at the bottom there. And I think that's where the ovaries are. So that must be where the nectar is. So it must be nice and tasty for them. But fortunately, I have a lot of primrose flowers. So there's plenty to go round. I'm still putting food out for the birds, but not as much as during the winter. Because I think they can work a bit harder for their food and look for it around the place. And then I scatter some on the ground for the ground feeding birds. I'm still counting them. I count the birds in the garden every week, but it's getting more difficult now because there's so much more foliage around for them to hide behind. And yesterday I bought some thyme and some lavender to replace the shrubs that I lost in the winter. So what I've decided to do, because I've been thinking about it for a while, is to give the summer house some attention. Because it's been sitting there all winter full of spiders and woodlice. And it hasn't been painted inside since it went up 5 years ago. So, because as you can see, everything's growing away quite happily. The salad's growing in the greenhouse, and the strawberries are flowering. Seedlings are growing, seeds are germinating. I've finally cleared the vegetable patch and I've sowed 2 rows of potatoes, one along there and one along there. And then the winter brassicas are still there because I'm still eating those. Things are growing in the polytunnel. I've sowed some more salads down that side. And on this side, the early potatoes are showing now. And the early onward peas looking good. But this row of sugar snap peas, my first sowing, only 5 came up. So as you can see, I've sown some more. And still not a good germination rate, but at least more than there was. So I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get the summer house ready for the summer. And I'll just show you inside as it is at the now. Just different comfy chairs to sit on and a sort of bench settee made out of old pallets. And then I've got my gnome collection here. These are for the grandchildren, really. They like to play hunt the gnomes, and a pair of little wellies there. So now you can see the wildlife that's been spending the winter in the summer house. These huge spiders that was just hiding away in a parasol that was rolled up in the corner. And then behind the parasols on the wood, there's all these slugs and woodlice and more slugs and more woodlice. And then in the corners, there's all this sort of granular stuff, which I can only think of is basically woodlice crap. So I'm going to sweep it all out and give it a lick of paint. Just before I take them off the wall, I just wanted to show you these two pictures just behind the door. That's Gertrude Jekyll. She's a hero of mine. And this is the balance sheet of New Springs Horticultural Society from 1883. And this was the Allotments Association where we had our allotment for 30 years. And it's divided into receipts and expenditures. Balance from last year, £3.10 and 8p. Rents for gardens, £13.8 and 7p in the receipts. And the long list of expenditures, most of which seems to be carting and draining, to be honest. They used to have a show every year and people were given prizes of like 2 shillings for the biggest parsnip. But the admissions to the show was £1.7 and 6. I think they charged like a shilling, which is like 5p now. So the total income was £33.17 and 6, and the total expenditure was £35.17 and 6. Oh dear! So they ended up £2 in the red. And it's signed James Fairhurst on sec and John Christopher, the auditor. So it's pretty much finished now. Just needs to dry, and it's lunchtime, so I'm going to go in and have my lunch and then maybe have a look around the garden, see what's going on, see if there's any insects around, see what's in flower, and then I'm going to put all my stuff back in again. There we go, it's all done. I'm a bit croaky today, sorry about this. I've only put one of those embroidered pictures up on the wall because the other one has got a chrysalis stuck on the back of it. I think that's a butterfly. So I'm going to leave that there and just put the picture back up. These I bought in a charity shop. 10p each, I think. They just took my fancy, they're quite old. In a garden, green and gay, all my troubles fade away. Sweet contentment here I find, joy of heart and peace of mind. And this one, I'm afraid, is not quite right. What more could the heart desire, in sunshine or in rain, than a quaint old cottage in a little English lane? Which, of course, doesn't work because I'm in Wales. And I keep meaning to sort of cross that out and put Welsh lane, but I haven't managed to do that yet. And now I'm going to sit here and have a cup of tea and a piece of cake. I haven't made it myself, I'm afraid. I only bake if I've got visitors. So this is courtesy of Mr. Tesco. And I'm just going to sit and look at the garden and the birds and hope to see a passing butterfly, maybe. I should have said, actually, in my New Year's resolutions that I'm going to do more of this because I don't do enough. In fact, I do very little at all, really. That's the problem with being a compulsive gardener, is as soon as you sit down, you see something that needs doing, so you have to get up and do it. But I'm going to do much more of this. So what could be nicer than sitting in a summer house, drinking tea and eating cake, apart from maybe sitting in a summer house and drinking wine? But it's not quite wine o'clock. But as soon as it is, I shall open the bottle and come out here with a glass. So thanks for joining me again in my wild Welsh garden, and thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hwyl am y tro.